How you guys doing? Eric here. Today is Monday, November 27th, 2017. And man, it is freaking warm out here today, man. I looked at the thermometer before I left the house. It's 55 degrees already at 9:30 in the morning. And so it looks like it's going to get up into the 60s today. Not a breath of breeze in the air. The only clouds in the sky are chemtrail clouds, and it's got to be a record-breaking day today. This is just not normal at all. This time of year, this late into November, less than a month to the summer solstice or the winter solstice, and we're having this kind of unbelievable weather. Not that I'm really complaining about it. It's just not natural, man. Look at this tree here, this young tree. Dying. Someone said on one of my recent videos that young trees will grow from the dead old trees. But here's an example of even the young trees are being killed off. So yeah, this is definitely not natural. This dead forest is not dead because of natural causes, man. It's something else. Frequency and chemicals, most likely. So yeah, man, it's Monday today. I was supposed to be working today, but once again the job got delayed for one day only, though. So I'll be going to work tomorrow. So that's good. I got 5 days scheduled. Tuesday through Saturday I'll be working every day. So, and then yeah, this job is just not as consistent as I was hoping it was going to be. You know, and then when the guy first hired me on, he's like, yeah, it'll be 4 to 6 weeks of solid work. Well, I worked 1 week solid and then had a week off, and now it's looking like it's going to be a week on and then a week off, and then fuck, it'll be next year. So I guess I got to start finding another job, man. It's as much as I hate to do that right now, but I got to. Anyways, I got to make money to live in this free country, right? Fucking, you know, which kind of got me thinking, you know, they try to convince us so much, you know, what a wonderful, great, free country America is, as long as you can pay for everything. It's a great free country if you're fucking wealthy, that's for sure. But for the rest of us, not so fucking free, man. You know, I always wondered that since I was a kid, man, you know. I always questioned everything, you know, like, why? Why do we gotta fucking work for a living? Why do we gotta fucking pay taxes? Why do we gotta pay for every fucking thing? Even though we live in a free country, you know? I always thought, you know, how come we can't just go somewhere, pick a piece of land that we like somewhere and just claim it for our own and build our own house there, you know, like a natural human would do back in the, before modern technology, before modern society happened. And there was even a time in this country when, you know, they gave land away for free because they needed people to settle this land and create a tax base that they could fucking use to make themselves wealthy. Yeah, it's like the humans are the only species on this planet that has to pay to live. You know, we have no rights to anything. You know, you ever wonder about that? Why? We have no rights. Well, anything that we get in this world, we have to pay for it. We're not entitled to anything, even though, you know, we're natural animals on this planet. Or are we? That's the question I'm getting at, man. Are we really, or are we aliens for sure? And that's why we have no natural rights on this planet, because we were genetically engineered from aliens. It's a possibility, man. A lot of people would think that's a crazy thought, but maybe that's the truth. The whole time that humans have been on this planet, we've been slaves, genetically engineered to mine the gold for the Anunnaki, possibly, and then maybe certain species of human on the planet or races escaped a long time ago from the gold mines and became free humans, like the Indians, you know, the black tribes of Africa, certain Asian peoples all over the world, they were mining gold. So possibly certain brands escaped and became the wild humans on Earth. It's a pretty interesting theory. So yeah, maybe that's what's going on here, really. That, you know, hundreds of thousands of years ago, they genetically engineered us to be their slaves, to tap the resources of this planet for them and make them incredibly wealthy. Well, but when they genetically engineered us, they left a lot of shortcomings in the human race. That's why we're so fucked up. That's why the human race has so many problems and is so self-destructive and all that, because when they engineered us, they didn't want us to be too powerful. So they left us with a lot of frailties and shortcomings and weaknesses that makes the human being a frail animal for the most part. But and then they decided to create the United States of America, right, as an experimental slave colony, I think, is what we're living in. And then for the last 200 years or so, this experiment's been going on where they convince a bunch of slaves that they're actually free, and they would create a more productive class of slave that would actually believe that they had a stake in their future and that they had freedom, and that you know, they convinced generations of us of this, and now they don't need us they don't need the slaves anymore, so they're phasing us out. And they got the technology to do it now, where everybody's being replaced by robotics, and the biological human slave has become obsolete. So that's what's going on. That's why we have no rights. That's why we have to be controlled and lied to, because they cannot afford to let the masses of the people know the truth. So I think also that we were genetically engineered to believe lies, and to lie ourselves, to be deceptive little fucking monkeys we are. Must be nice to be a dog, huh, Dingo? Not have to worry about all this bullshit, paying taxes and paying bills and having no rights. You just live yourself day after day, taking it one day at a time, and eat a little bit of that free snow. Must be nice. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, we would go off into the hills and we would build ourselves little forts and hideouts and shit, and no one ever bothered us about it. But if you did that nowadays, man, it's a fucking felony, and the rangers will be all over your ass for building a permanent structure out in nature. They just can't have it, man. It's a fucking serious crime. You go to prison for 20 years for that shit. It just goes to show you, man, we're fucking aliens on our own planet with no rights. We're fucking aliens in our own country, man. Can't even fucking sleep outdoors without fucking committing a felony. And that's why they killed off the Indians, because they couldn't enslave them, because they wouldn't allow themselves to be enslaved, because they would die in captivity. So the white man said, well, if we can't fucking make them our slaves, we'll just kill them all off and steal all their land.